Greetings one and all, and welcome to Zayfard Plays Galactic Civilizations 3. Well, with the release of version 1.7, I thought it'd be a good idea to have a play with the new toys, to showcase what it is and to show you guys what it does. Now, this does mean I'm putting the Iconian Resistance series on hold for a bit. It depends on time. I'm trying to stream Battlefield Gothic, so, please join me over my Twitch channel for that. It's just Zayfard over there, so it's actually older than my YouTube channel. And around that, I will try and continue the Iconian Resistance. Now, that's not dead. It is definitely going to come back. But I really want to have a play with version 1.7 and to show you guys what it can do. Now, I've been looking through the patch notes, and there's a couple of interesting things in there that really shine to me as being really cool, to be honest. The first is they have changed the way star bases work. They should work now a lot more like shipyards, where you say, okay, this star base is serviced by these shipyards, and rather than saying, send a constructor to the shipyard, you go, I would like these things constructed. I want to upgrade my shield, my weapons, whatever. And they'll just go to shipyards and go, right, how's the quickest way to get this? Okay, shipyard 1, build up a constructor, shipyard 2, do another. And they'll just be sent automatically and install those modules, which is fantastic and gets rid of some of the micros and the macro management, because it can get annoying. What they've also done a nice change is in diplomacy. One of my key tactics, as you probably have noticed by now, is I like to go out and buy tech from other races. And in the past it's just been a flat fee, no matter how hard the game is, no matter how much the race likes you, the value was the same. Now, the more the race likes you, the less you're going to have to spend to buy tech from them. And obviously the more they hate you, the more expensive it's going to be. And according to the patch notes, this also does scale with with the difficulty. Another really cool feature, or at least what sounds cool, we're going to get into the game in a second and find out, is that you can mouse over an enemy fleet and see the chances of victory. So we no longer have those situations where I've gone, that should be easy. Okay, they've all died. I've died. They've not been taken to scratch. What's happened? That's a really nice one. And the final feature, this actually sounds really cool. We're going to start getting alerts. Now, I don't know if I have to set those up or not. We'll find out. But to say if a planet's having issues with any of its production, if it's not getting the best out of itself. So, without further ado, let's go have a play. Let's see what version 1.7's like. Now, for this series, I think I'm going to choose the Iconian Refuge. They're really good starfaring. They've got defense on all their planets, which, to be honest, will be quite good for me, as I never seem to have enough ships, so having the extra defense will be hugely beneficial. They are fertile, so they grow faster. Maintenance costs are reduced. They're farmers, so we can feed more people, so this will be a very quick growing, high number race. They are craven, so their ability to resist invasion will be low, but to be totally honest, no matter what happens, invasions seem to go quickly, so I don't think that makes a difference. Our ships are more accurate, and we have larger logistics. So, let's get going on this one. Now, I'm not going to go for a map like I did with the Iconian Resistance. I've got to be honest, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of maps. I like the randomness, I like the unknown, and yes, it gives some great strategies. And I can imagine in a multiplayer environment, they would be fantastic. But for me, no. Single player, I don't like that. So, let's go for a gigantic world. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get 7. So there's going to be 8 of us in a gigantic map. Hopefully that'll be a decent amount. Should have some minor races turn up as well. We're of course playing the Iconian Refuge, and let's get started. Let's see where we are. Let's see what the universe looks like this time around. And as I say, I'm actually really looking forward to seeing the differences. Okay, here we go. Okay, we can't hear that drum beat, I've just seen the recording levels. Come on, game. You should be able to build this a bit faster. Ah, there we go. I was worried it was crashed for a second there. Iconian Refuge. The Iconians are the oldest of the young races, once servants to the precursors. Created of the yore, they were almost wiped out when their creations were given sentience by the Dread Lords. Only a few Iconians survived, hiding in a distant colony. Exceedingly cautious, and not without cause, Iconians have a strong sense of fatalism. That said, they have never given up reclaiming their ancestral home, though their cautious nature has prevented them from ever pursuing this dream. Until perhaps now. So, strengths and weaknesses. Iconians are overcautious and even paranoid as a result of having lived in hiding for generations. That says, living with limited resources has made them excellent farmers and repairers, and surprisingly accurate shots. Their entire culture built around minimizing waste, and the harsh population controls they live under have only enhanced their understanding of fertility. Fantastic, so these seem like a good race to use. Now I have played these before, although I don't think on the channel. Let's see where we are. I actually quite liked them the first time. Right, so we are over here. Just stuff everywhere. Now, I think we're going to state this as a goal now. If we find the yore, we are going to try and wipe them out to claim back our homeworld. Because the yore homeworld is the Iconians' ancient homeworld. I think you actually get an achievement in Steam for doing that. But I just like it from a storyline point of view. So, let's start with research. Oh, I forgot how good that looks. Okay, so let's remind myself where the differences are. Planetary improvements seem to be standard as far as I can see. Engineering, precursor traditions. Okay, so it's precursor stuff we get in the middle. Defense type, so it gives us boost to ships in general by the looks of things, and maintenance. Warfare is warfare. It's a shame none of these seem to be different. And communications is standard, so the big difference is in engineering, where we have the precursor traditions. So I think this time around, I'm going to start with Xeno Industries. Molecular fabricators, that's a different one as well. Okay, so what do these do? So these increase manufacturing, research and population. Okay, that's pretty useful. You know what, I'm going to start with planetary improvements, actually, so we can start getting down farms. Then I'm thinking industry, then fabricators, and then start, you know, with diplomacy, some maneuvering to try and get us to be able to move quickly as soon as possible, and then start getting some fleet work done. I think one of my big problems, I always end up being ripe for conquest, is I don't have a fleet built up soon enough. So what have we got here? Approval and influence. Well, I've got... actually, I could be useful for that. So this is going to be our manufacturing area. Research. Okay, so let's start with manufacturing. Get all this manufacturing up and running. Then, capital city. This will give us a nice boost to our consulate. Oh no, so influence to the side. We can get some really big influence going from here. Having said that, from our capital, that's not that useful. You know what, I'm going to leave it as this for now. And wait till we get some better things to put onto the planet. Okay, as for you, I'll do my classic as always, starting off exploring the solar system, exploring the universe, seeing what we can find. Shipyard, I would like a creator. Ooh! Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. So it's got their roles next to it, so these have changed. That's pretty cool. So we've got more information over here. So, specialty ships. Okay, that should make life an awful lot easier. Oh, I like that. I didn't spot that in the patch notes. Okay, let's cancel that one. I'm going to bring out a... I haven't decided what type of shipyard yet. So a starbase. So... Uh, Shipyard's idle, so we'll get out a second creator actually, that'll be fine. There's the creator, so I think if I have you between the two, between you Iconia and Sanctum, I can make you as a production starbase. I've forgotten the name of those for the life of me now. Okay, so starbase, excellent first starbase, yep. Economic ring, that was the one. I do like the design of these ones. So yeah, what we can now do is we've got, quickly see what we've got installed over here, which is nice. Stats over here. So this is, the extra details here are pretty cool. And we can queue up modules. In fact, I think I can get 2 automatically. So I can't build anything more there. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Oh, I've done it again. I always move that without realising. So, sponsors. Sponsor settings. Automatically order upgrades for installed modules. So yeah, this will be one of the lovely things. We can actually choose here, you know, what we want to order to get them to come across. We can manually manage where the starbase sponsors are, or we can automatically order upgrades for installation modules. So, from what I understand, things like the starbase defense is now going to be automatically updated. And that would be really useful because it means we can keep starbases up to date without, without having to spend too much effort doing it, to be honest, without having to too micromanage. Oh, looks like I've tried to go to a planet that's dead. That's impressive since I wasn't trying to go to a planet at all. Well, let's see. Dogon 2, a class 12. I will have that class 12. Ah, antimatter and Promethean. So that's going to be a good place for me to go and mine. Speaking of which, let's rush by and get the mining started. Okay, so we're off to a reasonable start. It's going to take us a while to find people. Probably. This is quite a big universe. Okay, let's get you over there as quickly as we can. As for the shipyard, I think another colonizer. And that's awesome that we can see. You know, we've now see instantly there's a colony ship with with colonizer modules. That is really cool. I do like this new design. Hey, Zogon 3 is ours. We've got our first colony. So, what do we want to be this time? Do we want to go malevolent? I never really go malevolent. Not convinced I want to this time. No. No, once I finish this series and the Altarian, I'm going to do a run as either the Yor, or the Snathi, or the Drengin, and do that as a malevolent run. These guys, I think, are pragmatic. Or actually, you know what? No, I'm going to start benevolent so we can get research boost. So I think this series I'm going to mix and match a bit. Rather than going down one specific path, I'm going to go, you know what? Some bonuses here will be good. You know, try and balance a bit of a pragmatic, benevolent race. Sort of half and half of them, just to try and get the bonuses. Because benevolent has some really good science stuff, and I do like getting good science. Every 4X game, I like high science. So, high-G animal racing. The colonists on this planet have taken to breeding and racing a local species of squat, four-legged animals. The harsh gravity of the world makes the racing particularly grueling, however, and footage of injured animals has caused animal rights activists around the galaxy to demand this barbaric practice be stopped. But it's becoming a big part of the local culture, and the colonists won't be happy if we end the races. What are your orders? Well, we must, of course, stop anything that even suggests cruelty to other forms of life. Put a stop to the racing at once. That will give us some benevolence, which will be useful, but minus 20% approval, which is going to be really irritating to deal with, actually. Or, we can surely find some ways to minimise the risks of the sport, enough to stop it from being cancelled outright. Padded tracks and moments of silence are the like. That just gives us pragmatic. Or, the people of this planet might be onto something. Let's export footage of this racing across our civilization so everyone can enjoy the excitement. It might even lead to provide a boost to the local tourism sector. You know what, I'm going to start this one with the pragmatic so this world hasn't got any disadvantages. Going for the benevolent route gives me no pluses. So we're going to go pragmatic on this one. Now, other worlds I am going to start going bouncing between the pair. Let's see, we've got ancient ruins, that's tourism and research. Research, this could be my research area. So factories over here. Because this is going to be a really good bit of research over here. And where you are, you know what, pushing out extra, influence, not going to be that useful yet. We'll leave you as is. And we'll get stuff later as always, which will help. Okay, boost the shipyard, excellent. And now keep looking for new worlds to colonize. Okay, and we have the ideology ready. So, 50 turns of no war, that's not useful yet. Builders, 3 free constructor vessels could be quite nice. Or preparedness center, what does that lead to? Increased intercenter caps, free defending ships, that could be useful actually. Actually, this could be really useful. Vigilant will make people less likely to be able to attack us. Ooh, and starts with preparedness. So we're going to go vigilant. Pragmatic civilizations know that it is better to be safe than sorry and prepared to face the harsh realities of galactic exploration. Oh, okay, that's what he says there. So, produce pragmatic ideology points every 10 turns. I will take that. First and benevolent, I would like enlightenment, to be honest, to go down this route. Because these are going to be pretty useful. Potentially outreach might be as well, actually. Affinity, maybe. Prominence. All of these malevolent ones are actually pretty good, whereas pragmatic... Actually, all of those are good depending on the way I want to play. Benevolent are very much war. And I don't tend to do that, but I'm going to try next series. This series... No. It's a next series roll. Okay. Research complete. Half the fun of moving to a new place is fixing it up to suit your needs. That's harder when the new place is an entirely alien planet. But we're finally developing the tools and techniques to do just that. Excellent, so we now have the Xeno farms. Well, I'll go Xeno industrialization next. Actually no, fabricators next. It's only 9 turns. It'll help me fit everything in. So, let's see. Preparedness Center. Military and approval. What if I put that there? We can have an approval building over here. Now, this one I could do more production or could do more research. I'll say production actually, so we'll get a nice factory over here. And over on this world. There's nowhere really to put the preparedness center, so I'll just put it wherever and come back to it later. However, I think some research here would be fantastic to get lots of bonuses. And that's going to give +3, +5. I'll get up to +3. So here will be what? +2 from these. So that'll be 3, 4, 5, 6. So +6 research on that spot. And in fact, you know what? I'm going to rush by it. Get that started. So, this is really going to be a high research world. Which is good. I do like high research worlds. Okay, so you found nothing. Well, go over here for me, please. See if you can find anything there. Okay, our shipyard, our creator is nearly in place. Ready to start getting some really useful stuff for us. You know what? That'll do me nicely. Construct a starbase for me, please. And I'd like a mining ring. And some defense. So it's looking as though the first module you build, at least with this race, possibly I'd missed something, and if I have, please let me know in the comments. Now I'll give you 2 starting points, give you 2 modules when you start. Now I don't know if this is part of the new patch or part of this race. I'm not sure. It's not something I remembered seeing in the patch notes, but at the same time, I did see the cut down patch notes. Okay, so we have antimatter and Promethean. Excellent. As for you, if we found anything useful. A class 20 world. Yes, yes, we have found something very useful. Class 20 world. You know what? That one is worth rushing for. And we'll put another creator in the queue, so we can go and improve the production over in that lovely class 20. Class 20! Oof. Yeah. That's going to be a fantastic world to have in our culture. Actually, that's what I haven't done on my other worlds. I'd forgotten this. I now have Xeno farms. Get those in production. Just one farm there, so it's going to be a smaller world, sadly. I got my calculations wrong, only +5. But that's fine, this is still going to be an awful lot of research. You know what, let's rush by that factory, make everything go faster. And we'll rush by this factory as well. Let's get a lot of production going. Helps my ships, helps my world build faster, and therefore helps my science. Because the faster I can get things built, the more science I've got because of all the sciencey worlds, and wow. There are some good worlds over here. Okay, so it's a class 15. So class 11, Shrouded. That's fine, you're in the middle of nowhere. I don't care if you've got reduced influence. Hey. Buy another colonizer. Let's get that world quickly. I always like growing... You probably noticed by now, guys, I really do love growing my civilization very fast. Hey, get that class 11. More people is just really useful, especially when we start the United Planets. So having a large race to start with works for me. And especially with the Iconians who grow so quickly. It's well worth having them. It'll put us in a really strong position. In the early, well, from the early mid-game onwards, to be honest. Research complete. Molecular fabrication is more than just a way to boost manufacturing. It can be used to make everything more efficient. Sorry, I've got to put my teeth in. It's my first recording session tonight. I always stumble on my words on this one. Molecular, it can be used to make everything far more efficient. So everything from more efficient weapons to more nutritious food. Why do I struggle with that one? Okay, specialization. Ooh, increase the research of our colonies by 25% would be fantastic. Let's go for that. Farming would be good, so extra food. And more social manufacturing would also be fantastic, but I want the science. I always love lots of science, so, you know, stick to what we know works for us. He says, knowing he normally loses. Maybe sticking to what I know is not always the best plan. But I have won games with these sort of tactics, so, you know, let's not give up hope yet. Remember, you're going over there. Fantastic. Weltstone 2 is now ours. Disease. A strange fungus on this planet has begun infecting our colonists with a mysterious illness that appears to be impossible to vaccinate against. Although our doctors can treat the symptoms easily enough, they have no hope of finding a cure, and the risk of contagion is high. With this disease afflicting us, our colony will never see its full growth potential. What are your orders? I'm torn on this one. So we can... It's one of these one I see a fair few times. So I think I've seen most of the colonizing events now, if not all of them. And I'm never quite sure what the best route in this is, because there's always a negative. We're certainly not going to cull anyone. Keep treating the symptoms and studying the disease. Even if we never find a cure, we won't become monsters ourselves. So while this will reduce our population growth, with this race that might not actually hurt us too badly, it will give us some research boost. And actually, this race has got a boost to population growth, so actually, I've said actually a lot there, this isn't going to hurt us. It's just a 10% research boost, and we just have a normal growth rate compared to the rest of the civilizations. Or, we'll have to quarantine the people who have the disease, and sadly prevent them from reproducing. The rest of the colony can continue on as is, or set up a room with a nice thick glass wall for families to briefly reunite. That gives a population growth reduction, which is a real shame, and no bonuses other than for pragmatic. In all honesty, for this race, that's not a particularly useful skill. A choice, just a no negatives. hard decisions always look easier after you make them. Our descendants will thank us for having the courage to do this. If it helps, get everyone drunk first. I'm not convinced that's malevolent. I'm really not. I'd actually call that pragmatic. And this is nothing but bad answers, but I don't think any of these are malevolent. I'm not even 100% sure that the middle one isn't benevolent. But anyway, that doesn't matter. This is a 10 malevolent, but a minus 30% food production, and that hurts. That's, unless you really need the malevolent points, that's a no-use one. That's a no-brainer to ignore. So I'm going to go benevolent, just because the population growth should cancel out our population reduction should cancel out our normal population growth bonus, and give us extra 10% research. So we've got a new research world. So tourism and manufacturing, population. Oh, you're just teasing me here, game. Okay. Factories up here. Let's see if I put Xenofarms. Yeah. Put Xenofarms here and here. And we can do research all along here. Then Xenofarm here. Soil upgrade here to get some nice increases. Manufacturing on that tile. You know what? Bit of extra manufacturing, really useful. Actually, if we cancel this one, put in a molecular fabricator, there'll be boost to population. Yeah, to population as well as science. That's a really good use. And I want a preparedness center. Just rush by that, so we can get more and more pragmatic coming in. I'm still making money, which is good. Okay, this has been a pretty good start so far. Got a class 20 world that's about to become ours. We've got a class 12, a class 11, a class 13, as well as the class 13 New Iconia. Oh, if I'd only played that one earlier, I could have got more Promethean. That's a shame. Ooh, a class 12, low gravity. Excellent. I definitely want that world as well. Okay, let's get another colonizer in production. Can't afford to rush by, but that's fine. I'll grab that one later. You know what, let's have you... You know what, I'm going to automate you. Go and survey stuff for me, please. I've got my scout, which is doing nicely. Excellent, so over here there's not a lot other than Promethean. So nicely, all my worlds are now connected by culture, so that's fantastic. Not long now. 5 more turns till we get the class 20. Okay, this creator's in place, and you know what? We'll put you in between these two. Make you an economic ring, get some bonuses for you that way. And get you in place ready for me to start playing around with the new features. Okay. Okay, nearly there. And new research. Molecular computers. We have been able to use molecular fabrication techniques to greatly increase the output of our research facilities with no additional resources or cost. Fantastic. Well, let's have some actually no, not Xeno industry now. Commerce. Let's start getting some market done. I'm going to start needing money very soon. At the moment I have +3 income, but I'm soon going to start burning through that. Actually, that's a class 8 as well, so the extra money will be useful. And you know what, let's get a second colonizer, because that class 8 world over there should be pretty nice as well. Hey! Our first anomaly has been surveyed. The scorched and pitted exterior of this abandoned cargo pod give the impression that its rightful owners are unlikely to return for it in this life. It would be a shame to let the valuable goods inside go to waste. Yes, it would, so let's get that 22 treasury. And I've just seen the time, and I'm afraid I am all out of time for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me for this one. It's been a good start. You know, we've got, 3 worlds already colonised, a 4th just about to happen, and 2 more within easy colonisation reach that we're about to go and find. We've got good production, good science coming through. Money is okay. And we're starting to put things in place to have a proper play with the 1.7 new toys. So again, I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, as always, like, shares, all that stuff really helps the channel and lets me know that this is a series you enjoy watching. And I do hope you'll join me for the next episode. We're going to colonise the Class 20 and hopefully these two, the Class 12 and the Class 8 over here. That is for tomorrow night. So, until then, farewell.